From the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't think, I sure hope you didn't think the Grizzlies were going to break their winning streak while we were away for Thanksgiving holiday, because that didn't happen. 6-game winning streak. It's intact. Grizzlies are now just a game and a half out of first place in the Western Conference. Jaren Jackson Jr. continues to make his case to become a two-time All-Star. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When we finish the Open, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Penny Hardaway's Tigers are now 6-1 after dropping the Maui Invitational title game to Auburn 90-76. Next up, Wednesday's game against Louisiana Tech. I'll tell you where I got Memphis in this morning's updated top 25-1. We'll do that in about 20 minutes. Ryan Silverfield's Tigers improved to 10-2 with a win at Tulane this weekend. Nice victory over a ranked opponent, but how much, if at all, does it change things for Memphis? And are there reasons to believe, because there might be, that the Pac-12 be circling back to Memphis? See if they want to reconsider, perhaps for a better deal. We'll discuss that a little later on in the show. Ohio State lost to Michigan this weekend for the 4th straight year. Rough stuff for Buckeyes coach Ryan Day. He might need to win a national championship to avoid getting fired. Interesting set of circumstances. We'll spend some time on that and the latest college football playoff projections. We'll do that in the second segment. Josh Allen, recently engaged. Congratulations. Led the Bills to a win in Sunday Night Football. Killed the Niners in the snow. We'll show you what it looked like in the second hour. And Elton John has announced, it's some sad stuff. Elton John has announced that he's lost his eyesight. I guess that's better than losing your fingers if you're Elton John, right?
Yeah.
If you're Elton John, you're going to need your fingers more than you need your eyes.
Correct.
Wouldn't you think?
Yes.
You could play the piano without eyes. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you could play it without fingers.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So let's look at the positive. He didn't lose his fingers. Give you all the details on Elton John's eyesight. We'll do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. After that, in about an hour, going to be joined by ESPN's Michael Eaves, as I am each Monday. We'll chop it up with him, and then we'll eventually do GP's carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies, because game 21 of a scheduled 82, it was played yesterday inside FedEx Forum. Winning streak extended. Final score, Grizzlies 136, Pacers 121. So it wasn't just a victory. It was a victory and a cover. Did the Grizzlies give up 45 points in the first quarter? Yes, they did that. Did they trail by as many as 19 points to an Eastern Conference team? 3 games under 500? Yeah, they did that too. But eventually they got going. Outscored the Pacers by 11 points in the second quarter, by 17 points in the third, by 4 points in the fourth. Won the game by 15. Put another way, after being down 47-28 2 minutes into the second quarter, the Grizzlies outscored the Pacers 108-74 the rest of the way over the final 34 minutes. Down by 19 after 14 minutes, up by 34 in the final 34. Jaren Jackson Jr. led all scores. He had 25 points, also got 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 steals. After it was over, his teammate, Ja Morant, hopped on what is now referred to as X, and he insisted that Jaren Jackson Jr. belongs in the 2025 NBA All-Star game. I'm ready to agree. Are you ready to agree?
You know, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything.
Toot your horn,
but
Bennett.
Literally,
I like that. I like that hoodie you got.
Thanks. Shout out Eric Hasseltine for hooking me up yesterday.
Oh, Eric Hasseltine's your connect.
He's my connect, yes.
Okay.
And I don't want to toot my own horn or anything.
Toot your horn, Bennett. It's Monday after Thanksgiving. Toot your horn.
But, you know, me and John Roser, we do the post-game radio call-in show. We call it Grizzlies Post-Game Live is what it's referred to as.
I'm familiar with your work.
And literally about a minute after I said on that show that Jaren Jackson Jr. is an all-star, John Morant tweeted that.
Are you accusing John Morant of driving home, listening to the postgame show, and going, "Oh man, Big Bet Bennett just said Tripp should be an All-Star. I think I'll tweet that." Is that what you're alleging?
I think it's entirely possible.
It's definitely possible.
I think it's entirely possible. Does John Morant know how to listen to the Grizzlies radio broadcast? That's
What do you think? Do you think John Morant has ever listened to you on his drive home?
Okay. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say no. But he is also very plugged in. We know that. Like, he is as plugged in as any player in this league.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that. Like, he sees everything.
Okay.
He sees everything the fans are saying. He said it. He said, I see everything.
Okay.
I don't know if he hears everything, but I know he said he sees everything. So I like to think that Ja was, a post-game victory. Man, you're feeling good. The vibes are good. And he's like, I want to see what they're saying on the radio about us. I want to see what they're saying on the radio right now about us.
I can easily envision John Morant going out, having another nice performance.
Yeah.
Takes a shower, does his media responsibilities, hops in his vehicle, which I'm certain is nice. One of many.
Yep.
Pulls out a FedEx form and he says, "Man, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yep.
This is pretty nice. I wonder what Big Bet Bennett's going to say." And then he went straight there, turned on his radio. Do you think John Morant even knows how to turn on his radio?
I would think so, yes.
It's not the easiest thing to do in cars anymore, new cars.
Yeah, that's fair. But
like, I have to, if I ever want to actually turn on my radio, like, I got to figure it out.
Yeah,
I gotta
I'm still a little old school. Like mine is right there, ready to roll, presets and all.
I got like a touch screen, and you got to touch it a bunch to get to the radio.
Yeah, I don't like that. By the way,
I can get to Spotify with one touch.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Do you know what somebody told me one time?
That's because they're like, we need to find a way to charge. Radio's free, and so they're like, well, we need to find a way to like make it where people are.
Do you know
paying.
what somebody told me?
What?
Here's what somebody told me.
What?
And I don't know if this is true, but it's something somebody told me.
Uh-huh.
We will get to a point where traditional radio will not be in vehicles anymore.
Well, it's like that in, I believe it's Finland, maybe? There's some.
We're going to follow in the footsteps of Finland.
I believe it's Finland.
I think I heard about that during the election. They said, we're going to be the next Finland. Said, you'll go buy a new car.
There won't be a radio in it.
And the idea that remember, you used to buy a car, there was a cassette. That used to be in there.
Yeah, mine still has a CD player. My car has a CD player in it.
Mine does.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went through that phase, right? You're still in it. You'll get out of it someday.
Yeah.
Bennett, Bennett, you keep working hard. You're gonna get a car without a CD player someday.
Well, you know how I feel about physical media.
I know.
I respect it being there.
You probably got a catalog of disc in your floorboard, don't you?
I got a little book.
You have a CD book in your car.
Yeah, I got a little book.
Come on, man.
I mean, I don't really use it. Like, I'm typically using
You got a CD book in your car?
I'm typically using Apple Music.
Well, the only thing CDs are good for in 2024 is do coke off of.
Okay, what if your phone breaks? Like, what,
Oh, Bennett, you can't drive around.
What if your phone dies?
Oh, my God. Bennett, you cannot drive around with CDs in your car just in case your phone dies.
Well, they're there. Okay. All right. They're there.
That's the wildest thing I ever heard in 2024.
Yep.
You running around.
I mean, it's a small book. I used to have, like, the freaking portfolio,
Do you
dude.
think, how funny do you think our kids would think it is? And I guess your kids, they're just living through it, so they don't even know any better. But
they're
like,
in this.
If I told my kids, I used to drive around with it was like this. It was a book like this, filled with like 100 CDs. I'd be like, I guess we're listening to Alice in Chains again.
Yeah.
And you'd have to flip through your book and then put it. What a wild way to live. I can get to Spotify in one touch.
I understand.
I can get to Sirius.
I'm an Apple Music guy.
One touch. I used to be an Apple Music guy.
I like Apple Music better.
I prefer Spotify.
No. See, that's an elitist mentality.
You think I'm being elitist?
Mm-hmm. I think that the elitist Spotify's amazing. Spotify's amazing. They look down on the Apple Music people for some reason.
I'm not looking down on you.
People look down on the Apple Music people. I don't know why. I think Apple Music's great.
I used to love Apple Music too. I'm not looking down at you.
Okay.
But I find the playlist more. We've reached a point where my kids really like hip hop, but my wife will not allow me to play
certain songs.
All the songs.
I got you.
Unless we do the clean versions.
Yeah, I got you.
So we can find playlist. There's a clean playlist for every hip hop artist basically on Spotify. So I can type in anything clean, and then my children and I can enjoy music with, a bleep here or there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my. But it's possible you can do the exact same thing on Apple. I don't know.
Apple's legit, and I got people coming into my defense. Like, Apple has the spatial audio. Like, it's I'm an audio guy.
I know.
I'm an audio guy, and man, when they hit you with that spatial audio, it's pristine.
Well, I guess my ears aren't sophisticated enough to know the difference.
Yeah,
I enjoy Spotify, but we might not have a radio in your car someday.
I got you.
So,
but right now, Ja does.
Ja does.
He heard me say that Jaren is going to be an All-Star. And he tweeted it right after.
You should tweet.
That's what happens. Roser was there. Roser heard me say it.
Roser knows what happened.
Yeah, Roser knows what happened. Ja tweeted that right after I said it. He heard me.
He probably heard you.
Yeah.
He's probably just copying from me. Borrowing.
No, no, he heard it and was like, God, he's right.
What if Ja would have tweeted, just driving home, listening to Big Bet Bennett, and, man, he's right.
That'd be great for my career.
Wouldn't it be wonderful?
That'd be incredible for my career.
We should get Ja to.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, one tweet of acknowledgement would be sick. Yeah,
you need to be. You need to be acknowledged. Your post-game responsibilities need to be acknowledged by the franchise's point guard. I saw him over there in the other studio, hanging out with everybody in the other studio.
I was jealous.
You're the one over here doing. You're the one over here doing the post-game, trying to get Tripp in the All-Star game.
You're damn right I am, and Ja for that matter.
And Ja for that matter. Yeah. You ain't trying to send just one Grizzly to the All-Star game. All right, we're gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get this. In all seriousness, he is on his way to his second All-Star game, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Absolutely.
In 2023, that's when he made the All-Star team for the first time. 2 years ago. He averaged 18.6 points in that season, 6.8 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 28.4 minutes per game. And that was for a team that finished 51 and 31. Right now, he's averaging 22.4 points, 5.9 rebounds, 1.8 blocks in 28.4 minutes per game. For a team that's on pace, by the way, for a team that's on pace, I hope you understand what I'm about to tell you. For a team that's on pace to finish 55 and 27, and the best 3 players have barely played together.
Right. It's wild.
And they're on pace to finish 55 and 27. Scheduled.
Oh, they've had a very favorable schedule.
Right.
Yeah, no question.
All of that acknowledged.
Yes.
But right now, if they continue to win at the rate at which they've been winning, the record is 55 and 27 through 82 games.
Okay.
So Jaren Jackson Jr. is averaging nearly 4 more points per game than he did 2 years ago when he made the All-Star team, while shooting similar percentages for a team that is projected to win more than it did 2 years ago when he made the All-Star game. That's All-Star stuff. He's going to be in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially if they continue, like if the trajectory of the record goes the way that you said there, like if they're a top 6 team in the West, they're a top 4 team in the West. They're going to get a All-Star. We know that. Like that'd be insane if they were a top 6 seed in the West and didn't get an All-Star. That would be wild.
It would be disrespectful, and we would protest.
We would absolutely protest. So we know they're getting one. He's the guy that's played in all the games, and he's been, I mean, dude, like this team, if you took Jaren Jackson Jr. off this team, the record would not be anywhere close to what it is right now. Like he has been great for this team on both ends of the floor.
He's he's appeared in 19 games. He started 19 games. He's playing 28.4 minutes. That's down from last year, but that's also sensible. First off, there's a new style that has been implemented. Last year when he played, he had to play a lot because there was nobody else on the court. So minutes down a little bit from last year, but points per game roughly the same. Shooting percentage up significantly from last season, but similar to what it was 2 years ago. Like there's not even really a debate. We don't even have to argue over it. We don't even have to talk about what needs to happen for Jaren Jackson to be a Western Conference or just an All-Star this season. He just has to continue to do what he's doing.
Yep.
And the Grizzlies have to continue to do what they're doing, and that will be plenty good enough. The standings now?
Yes.
I mean,
let's talk about it.
OKC still first in the West, 15-5. Rockets are 15-6, just a half game back.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the Grizzlies are 14-7, 1.5 games back of OKC, 1 game back of the Rockets. And they're doing this again. It wasn't too long ago when we were waking up, coming in here, and complaining about injury reports.
Yes.
But we did identify this stretch in the schedule as a stretch where you could really run off.
Yeah, especially when you knew that Ja was likely coming back.
Right.
That's when it was like, okay, now you got to take advantage of this moment because this upcoming week is against all teams that you're going to be a pretty significant favorite against. So just go win all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And, they were favored in every game in this homestand. They won every game in the homestand. It's now 6 consecutive wins going to Dallas tomorrow night. But, 21 games through the season. You probably noticed, like I always start it that way, game 21, schedule 82.
Yeah.
It's just sort of a rhythm that keeps me. But, I can remember, game 5, game 8. We're getting into it.
Yeah, we're into this thing. And the other thing, too, I think, this schedule is going to get harder this month. It is. It is fun. I was talking to someone yesterday about it, and someone who, thinks reasonably about this team and said, yeah, I mean, listen, when you go through the schedule and what all the games that they've won, there's not that many huge wins there over big-time teams. There's just not. But those opportunities are coming now. This tomorrow night is a huge game against Dallas.
Sure. Well,
for an NBA regular season game.
Yeah. At Dallas is more challenging than at home against any of the stuff you've been at home against.
Yeah.
Right. So is the 6-game winning streak going to go to 7? Is it going to go to 8? Going to go to 9? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But hashtag create a cushion. That's what we said last week. Create a cushion.
You're damn right.
If we want to
hashtag create a cushion.
You want to finish in the top 6 to stay out of the play-in stuff, and they're creating a cushion now. You take advantage of the schedule when it presents itself more favorable than it otherwise might be at a different point in the calendar, and you just knock those out. You put them in your back pocket, create a cushion.
Yes.
They're creating a cushion. It's all good stuff. I'm feeling good about
great
it.
Stuff. I'm feeling really good, too.
You look good in that hoodie.
Thanks, man. I didn't know. Yeah,
I'm ready to say it. Can I say it? I'm ready to say it.
Yes.
That is my favorite alternative everything.
You like that? I like the Sounds throwback stuff. And again, this was a gift. I didn't pick it out. I don't know if I would have ever bought this for myself, but as I'm wearing it.
You feel good about yourself right now, don't you?
I feel really good.
I know you do. I
feel really good. We're riding a 5-game win streak. 6 games. Sorry.
I can see you sitting there with confidence. You got a certain level of confidence about you. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. It's coming through.
Yeah, it's a good Monday. It's a good Monday.
For you. I like those uniforms. I like all the gear connected to it.
I do too.
I don't own Red Grizzlies gear yet, but
there's a ton in the team store, by the way.
I'm going down there.
Yeah, go down there today. They got some good stuff.
I really am going to go down there today.
I am too. I got to return something, get it exchanged.
Oh, you one of those people, huh?
No, just the wrong size. We just need to swap it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for the little guy.
As the husband of a store owner, I know what it's like when some of you want to bring stuff back.
Not for a refund, for an exchange.
Okay.
For an exchange.
Okay, we'll allow that.
Yeah, okay.
We'll allow that. It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
21 games in the book, 14-7, on pace right now to win 55. It's all good stuff.
It's all good stuff.
Dallas tomorrow night. Let's make it 7 in a row.
Let's go. I think Luka will be playing in that game, it appears, tomorrow night.
Not if I have something to do with it. Not if I have a say. Not if I have a say.
It's also an NBA Cup game. The final group play. I think we were going through it. I think we have to win by 20-something. Yeah. It's going to be tough. Well, I think you got to win by 23 or something like that.
That is the problem with giving up. How about this? Tomorrow night, can't give up 45 in the first if you want to win by 20-something.
That's correct. That's correct. We didn't even really talk about that game last night. I was never worried. When they were down, what was it, 19? No, when they were down 19, that team that they played last night, Indiana, we'll see how they'll probably be fine and make the playoffs in the East. They have less interest in playing defense than any team in this league.
Oh, sure.
Maybe outside of the Wizards.
But you can say you weren't worried. I think when you're down 19, 14 minutes in, I wasn't
worried.
I was like, okay, I see what's going on here.
They were hitting everything.
Early Sunday game after a Saturday night. No. I see what's happening here.
No. They were hitting everything to start that first quarter. And I was just like, dude, if we can just settle in and defend this a little bit better, we're going to be totally fine.
And they were.
So
you were right again.
Yep.
You just right about everything yesterday. Look who had
living good. It's the red hoodie, baby.
Look who had a nice Sunday.
Yeah.
Been just right about everything all day long, all night long.
Appreciate you listening, Ja.
Appreciate y'all listening to
listening
Bennett
to
and
the postgame
Rosa.
show.
That was sweet. You know, a different post-game radio host would be like, well, I wish you'd have gave me credit, but you're not asking for credit, right?
No, I'm just glad to know he's there.
You share the wisdom. You're just happy he was there. Your wisdom is everybody's wisdom. If Ja wants to take it, if Dez wants to take it, whatever they hear, if they want to repeat it, they don't have to attribute it to Big Bet Bennett. They can just borrow his wisdom.
Yeah.
You look good in that red.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
We come back. Penny Hardaway's Tigers, they're back from Maui. They went out to Maui. When we left you last week, they were still out in Maui. They were getting ready to play Auburn in the title game of the Maui Invitational. That didn't go so well, but they're still 6-1. I'll tell you where I got them. In the top 25-1 this morning. We'll do that next. Also, Memphis Football went to New Orleans, beat Tulane, nationally ranked Greenway. Back-to-back 10-win seasons. Good stuff for Ryan Silverfield. We'll talk about both those things next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of up to $340,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Here Comes Santa kicks off November 24th. Get 1 free entry and earn additional entries for weekly Saturday drawings. Don't forget the grand finale drawing on Saturday, December 21st to win up to $5,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quoting, call 800-522-4700.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Behind the back to Jaren for the flush.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Looking for a fun way to get your child active and involved with the Memphis Grizzlies? Ball out on the Grizzlies home court at Junior Grizzlies Game Day Clinics. Presented by Ortho South. Get your game ready for the big leagues. The first Junior Grizzlies Clinic tips off November 25th before the Grizzlies versus Trailblazers game. Take your child's skills to the next level by signing up at grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. Don't miss out.
can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays in the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
The University of Memphis men's basketball program is back inside the continental United States after finishing second in the 2024 Maui Invitational. Beat UConn, beat Michigan State, then played Auburn in the title game. That was on Wednesday afternoon after we got off the air. Didn't go so well. Auburn 90, Tigers 76. But Auburn might be the best team in the country. We'll see where the Auburn Tigers are ranked today in the AP poll. There's an argument to be made that they should be number 1. I do believe they have the best resume in the country. I'm keeping Kansas at number 1, in part because, not in part, entirely, because I've had Kansas number 1 since April 19th after they added Wisconsin transfer A.J. Storr. And though Auburn has done more in their first 7 games than Kansas has done, it's not like Kansas has done nothing. Kansas has beaten Duke, North Carolina, Michigan State. Auburn has better wins right now, but I just, some Auburn fans are irritated by this, but I'm just not going to move my number 1 team while it's still undefeated. And some Auburn fans are like, but I thought you said, because I did say on Friday's Eye on College Basketball podcast that Auburn has the best resume in the country. Well, if Auburn has the best resume in the country, why aren't you ranking them number 1? Because they just have the best resume in the country, A, because they're great, but B, because they happen to play the games that they play. If Kansas would have played Auburn's schedule, I believe Kansas would also be undefeated with Auburn's schedule. So I'm not going to penalize my preseason number 1 simply because through 7 games, they haven't had the same schedule as somebody else. We will eventually get to a point in this season and every other season where most of, if not all of the great teams have great wins and a loss or 2, and then you can start ranking based on, resumes, which is, I'll get there. But 29 days into this season, we're not there yet. And so I guess one way to illustrate it would be, think of it this way. If you still can't wrap your mind around the idea that Auburn has the best resume, but I'm keeping Kansas number 1, you could think of it this way. Imagine if the Boston Celtics just got dropped into college basketball for whatever reason. They just announced in April, hey, the Celtics are going to play college basketball next year. GP, what do you want to do with your top 25 and 1? I say, well, I guess I got to make the Celtics number 1. I don't know if college wings are going to be able to hang with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And don't even get me started on Kristaps Porzingis. I guess Boston Celtics are number 1. So I'd keep them number 1 all through the preseason. And then imagine if we were sitting here today, right now, and the Boston Celtics had played Kansas' schedule and won every one of those games exactly the same way Kansas won them. They'd be 7-0, right? You know what that would mean? Auburn, right now, would have a better resume, a better body of work than the Boston Celtics right now. Now, would you tell me that I should drop the Boston Celtics from number 1?
No.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
You'd say, well, they're undefeated, and it doesn't matter about the resumes. Like, you had them number 1, you think they're the best team, they're still undefeated, you could keep them there, right? Of course. I'm not saying the Kansas Jayhawks are the Boston Celtics, obviously. I'm just saying I'm going to stick with my preseason number 1 as long as they got a 0 in the loss column. So for me, Kansas is 1, Auburn is 2, and Memphis is 14. I've got Memphis in the top 15 of the top 25 and 1.
Nice.
When the AP poll updates in about an hour or 2, I think Memphis will be somewhere in that range, 14 to 20, but definitely in the AP poll. I'd be shocked.
Good. Dude, that'd be so lame if they weren't.
Well,
I know they're 31 at the net right now, but as far as the AP top 25 and who you've beaten and stuff like that, I feel like they have to be in.
I do too. I think when your lone loss is to the number 1 team at KenPom, and I'll give Memphis credit. Listen, you don't want to lose the game by 14 points, but they were down by 14 points the whole game.
Right.
They didn't let 14 turn into 30.
That's right.
Dude,
when they lined up for the opening tip, I was like, This is going to be tough. Auburn looks like a freaking NBA team, dude. They are huge.
And Jani Broom's terrific.
Yes.
Like right now, you could make a reasonable case that Auburn could be number one in the country and Jani Broom could be the National Player of the Year leader. So he is terrific. He was terrific against Memphis. They just got beat, I think, by a better basketball team. It's okay. You know, nobody ever said Memphis is the best basketball team in the country. They just got beat by a better basketball team. One of the best basketball teams in the country on a neutral court. But they own wins over Michigan State, Connecticut. Not quite a true road win over San Francisco, but a win over San Francisco in San Francisco. And then the true road win at UNLV. The computer numbers, if you're an AP voter and you just want to leave Memphis off of your ballot, you can support that by saying they haven't beaten a team that is ranked other than UConn, and UConn won't be ranked today. Now, Michigan State might be ranked today, so you could flip that. But haven't beat a ranked team yet other than UConn, and everybody's beaten UConn, and they don't have computer numbers that support top 25, so I'm going to leave them off. If you wanted to, as an AP voter, you could do that, but I don't think most of them will. I think Memphis will be safely ranked in the AP poll, and that is huge. I know some people like to get into conversations about rankings don't matter, but we've been through this before. They do matter. They put a number next to your name. They get you on the default top 25 scoreboard. They get you on the ticker at CBS Sports Network, at ESPN. When I'm in studio for Inside College Basketball, we're running through highlights at halftime or pregame or postgame. They're typically top 25 highlights. You know, producer typically doesn't say, let's take the unranked team that's pretty good over the team that's ranked 22nd. Yeah, they got a 22 next to the name. Let's put them, we'll do their highlights instead of the unranked team. These matter in real tangible ways. So today's a good day for Penny, for that program. They're not off to the best start you could have had because 7-0 is better than 6-1. But you could ask Penny, anybody over there, would you take 6-1 through 7? You'd be crazy if you wouldn't. And so this is a really encouraging start, led by PJ Haggerty and Tyrese Hunter. They've got one of the best backcourts in the country. They've got a basketball team that looks like a real basketball team. And given that the AAC from top to bottom outside of Memphis is pretty whatever, there's reason to believe they could really run through this schedule and, enter the AAC tournament with something like 26 games, 26 wins. I know that it flipped on them last year. They were ranked 10th in January and then missed the NCAA tournament. I don't think that's going to happen this year.
I don't either.
I'd never say never.
Right.
But I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think this is going to be a team that continues to do well in its non-league schedule, gets to its conference schedule, and then 18 league games. They might be able to do something like 16-2, 15-3, 14-4.
Yeah.
I think 14-4 is on the low side at this point, given what's in that league.
Because if you remember last year, GP, even when they were winning early, there was the comments from Penny about how I don't want to misquote him at all, but it was basically suggesting that behind the scenes things weren't great with the team and the chemistry and all that kind of stuff. You haven't heard any of that.
That's right. Yeah. Everything looks to be going okay. Relatively speaking. Yeah. I know that they had a player quit on opening day, so there's always that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But things seem to be going okay.
Yeah.
Through 7 games, it's an encouraging Memphis basketball season. There is nobody else in the top 50 at KenPom in the AAC. There's only 2 other top 100 teams in the AAC besides Memphis, and that's number 66, North Texas, and number 88, Wichita State. So, the league is what it is. Memphis should run through it. Next up, they play
Louisiana Tech
on Wednesday inside FedEx Forum, and then on Sunday, Arkansas State. From Jonesboro, they come in town.
I was actually excited about the game on Wednesday because it was looking like Louisiana Tech was going to come in here 8-0, which, again, they haven't played anybody, but it's like, hey, maybe they're good, and that could be like one of those resume wins that you look at later in the year. They freaking lost at home to Southern like 2 days ago, and it's just like, okay, well, so much for that.
Well, you know way more about Louisiana Tech than I do.
No, just because I was looking at their upcoming schedule, and, like, it's good. Like, their upcoming schedule is really nice, and that one was like one of those kind of underrated, like, oh, it's a Wednesday night home game against a team that nobody really cares about, but they might come in 8-0.
Yeah. I mean, they're still going to come in. They're a borderline top 100 team. They're 105th at KenPom right now.
Okay.
So it's a losable game if you just don't show up.
That's right.
And maybe Louisiana Tech on a Wednesday night in December doesn't sound like a losable game if you don't show up, but that's a losable game if you don't show up. Mm-hmm. But I suspect they'll show up and be 7-1 on Thursday morning.
Number 2.
How about Ryan Silverfield's Memphis Tigers? They
that
went
was
down
nice.
to New Orleans on Thanksgiving. Beat the Green Wave 34-24. Tulane was ranked 17th in the country. Memphis basically eliminates the AAC from college football playoff contention with its victory over Tulane. And the Tigers are 10-2 overall, 6-2 in the American. I'm asking this question from an honest place. I'm not trying to lead you anywhere.
No, that's okay.
How big of a deal is this?
Well, I thought it was the actual just the game, the day it was on, you're playing a top 25 opponent. Like, that was really fun. Like, that was awesome. That was the show. Like, it was like, that was the college football game that was on at the time. And I was locked in. Like, it was awesome getting that win. It's awesome getting to 10 wins. As far as like what it means in the grand scheme of things, I do think that it definitely gives some positive vibes heading into whatever bowl game they're going to play, because, and just in general, because nobody from the AAC, because of that win, ain't nobody from the AAC making the playoff.
Right.
Like, it's, it's funny, like, Memphis is probably going to be ranked ahead of some of those teams that looked like they were going to have the shot at making the college football playoff from the AAC. So it's just kind of interesting that that's how the regular season ended up playing out.
Well, it's one thing I noticed is that we start this season with people saying Memphis might really be the best group of 5 team in college football in the entire country. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're trying to figure out who's going to represent the group of 5 in the college football playoff, Memphis was the answer for a lot of people in the preseason. And Memphis obviously isn't that answer now, but I did see people, among them Dan Wolken from USA Today, this weekend tweet. So it turns out Memphis was the best group of 5 team all along. And I don't even know if that's true or not, but
they're one of them.
It is interesting that we start the season, Memphis might be the best group of 5. We end the season, Memphis really might be the best group of 5. But you can't play in the championship game.
But you can't play,
and you can't
right.
get to the playoff.
That's right.
So when I ask you how big of a deal is this, obviously it's another win. That's good. It's a win over a ranked team. You know, if part of the reason some of you fans beat you up sometimes, if you're Ryan Silverfield, is because you don't have a lot of notable wins over ranked teams or quality teams or even teams with winning records. Well, this is one of those. It's good. So, so it matters in the most obvious ways. And it's a nice bullet point. Back-to-back 10-win seasons.
Yep.
All of that stuff, right?
Yeah, Seth became the all-time passing leader in the AAC. It's kind of
we can build a great graphic out of all of this stuff. We can build a wonderful graphic to throw on television with bullet points and everything. But I guess my thing, it just doesn't change it doesn't change anything in any sort of big way. And to me, that's what's disappointing. I guess I couldn't fully enjoy a 34-24 win over Tulane on the road because the entire time I'm watching it, I'm going, this could have been the biggest moment in the history of Memphis football.
No, the game could have been absolutely massive. You're right. It is fun playing spoiler because, like, let's face it, I know we've kind of been toe in toe with Tulane in these whole conference realignment discussions, and if we were going to leave, are they with us, that kind of thing. It's fun spoiling their season because we've always thought of ourselves in football, at least in the past couple decades, as being better than Tulane. So that was fun too, like being like, okay, that's cool that y'all are like top 25 and all, but come on.
That's disrespectful to Sean King.
I don't care. That was fun. I liked that.
You're talking to somebody who covered the undefeated Tulane Green Wave.
Mm-hmm. When was that?
When I was in college.
I was about to say, okay, so a couple decades.
I covered undefeated Tulane. They came to the Liberty Bowl.
Yep.
They finished the season undefeated, and this was they had, I can't remember who the coach was, but the coach left. I want to say it was one of the Bowdens.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Tommy.
It probably was.
I think it was one of the Bowdens. Okay.
That checks,
I want to say Tommy Bowden.
Yeah.
But so I had somehow I got connected with the Washington Post. I don't even know how this happened, to be honest with you. I think they reached out to the Commercial Appeal and they were like, hey, we don't want to staff the Liberty Bowl, but we feel like we need to have somebody, we need to have a byline from Memphis for undefeated Tulane. This is back when newspapers used to care about stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think they called the Commercial Appeal and they were like, do you have anybody who could cover the Liberty Bowl for us? We'd pay them the whole deal. And the Commercial Appeal was like, well, we have our own people covering the Liberty Bowl. We're gonna send somebody to cover the Liberty Bowl. They're gonna do it for us, not you. But there's a college kid who worked for us sometimes, and so I ended up writing for the Washington Post. I'm in college.
Okay.
I had bylines in the Washington Post covering that Tulane team. I covered them all week. But that was when
it was Tommy Bowden. Shout out Michael, Memphis historian.
So he left for Clemson, and Rich Rodriguez was the offensive coordinator at Tulane, who went on to be the head coach at Michigan and all that. And so it was just understood. They're going to promote him, and he'll be the next head coach at Tulane. He even I remember having this conversation with Rodriguez because it all happened while they were in Memphis.
Yeah.
They gave the job to somebody else.
Oh, wow.
And Rich Rodriguez was the interim coach.
Damn.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
And it's Rich Rodriguez who went on to do big things.
Yeah, he did.
It was just sort of understood they were just going to hand him the job. He even brought like a green tie. He's a defensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator, not wearing suits. He brought a suit with a green tie. He thought he was going to be announced as the...
God,
and they gave it to somebody else.
That's as big of a fumble as them leaving the SEC once upon a time.
And so I did... I remember they carried him off the field, and that whole thing was neat. And so my point was, I don't know if we've always been better at football than Tulane or thought ourselves.
Yeah, I got it.
But for a younger generation, maybe so.
Yeah.
All right. I don't mind playing spoiler, I guess. It's just I'd like to play. It ain't as much fun spoiling somebody else's season when you done spoiled your own.
I get it. And I've seen, the argument, I've seen the argument, well, the AAC maybe just ended up being better than we all thought. No. That's the wrong argument. No one from the AAC is going to make the college football playoff. That's the argument.
And nobody, here we are, we got conference championship games coming up.
Yeah.
And it's like, in some of these other ones, in most of the winner is in. It matters. Mm-hmm. And you're going to watch the AAC title game. This is bad for the AAC.
Yes.
You're going to watch the AAC title game, and it's like, you can turn on most other title games, certainly at the power conference level, and it's like, this is for something. If this team wins, they're going here. Mm-hmm. You turn on the AAC title game, it's like, hey, you're playing for a trophy.
Yeah.
But they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You ain't going nowhere good. Not after this. It's just, I could not enjoy Memphis over Tulane as much as I should have, because the whole time I'm watching it, I go, if you don't give one to Navy, you don't give one to UTSA, this could be the stepping stone to the biggest moment in Memphis football history.
It's very true.
It's what before the season even got started, we were pointing to, and the regular season finale in New Orleans. And by the time it got here, all you could do is spoil their party. You couldn't have your own.
Mm-hmm.
And that was,
I agree.
That took away from it a little bit.
I agree. I'm hoping, one of the latest bowl projections had them playing Florida in one of those bowl games, which I was like, okay, well, I could get fired up for that. Like, that's cool.
It's just, I
could
can't
get fired up for that. Come on.
Yeah, because Florida is going to have 11 people opt out, and they're going to say they don't care. And even if you beat them, you know what everybody's going to say? Florida sucks.
They fired their coach.
Or they should have.
I got it.
Yeah. So it's an all-time what could have been if you just. And it's not one of those what could have been if you'd have done something that you weren't capable of doing. It's not like we're sitting here talking about Penny's Tigers and going, man, what could have been if they'd have just beat Auburn? Well, yeah, but they got beat by a better team. I'm not sure Memphis ever got beat by a better team this season.
I do not think that.
Yeah.
I think if you played that Navy game 5 times, Memphis wins 4 of them. I think if you played that UTSA game 5 times, Memphis wins 4 of them.
Yeah, we're not sitting around wishing Memphis football could have done something it was probably incapable of doing. We're saying, man, isn't it unfortunate they didn't do the thing that they could have done and should have done?
Yeah.
So happy for everybody involved, obviously. But if we're being honest, the difference between 9 and 10 wins heading into your bowl game is really just a number. Mm-hmm. It's just because we like big round numbers like 10 and 20 and 30 as opposed to 9 and 19 and 29. That's the biggest difference. It's a nice thing to add to your graphic that they throw on television, but it gets you into a better bowl game theoretically, but it doesn't change the big stuff. And that was disappointing. But congratulations, and go Tigers, go.
Number 3.
Ohio State lost again to Michigan. Good news is they're probably going to be in the college football playoff. Bad news is I don't know if anybody's ever been in this situation before in their entire lives in coaching, in college coaching. Have you?
No. I've been trying to, because I figured you were going to ask this, and I can't think of a situation.
Ryan Day might be in a situation where he has to either win a national championship or lose his job.
Right.
There might be no in between. Maybe at Ole Miss a few years ago with the baseball coach, because I think they were ready to do him, and then he won the College World Series, and they kept him. Right. So that might have been a similar situation, but it was college baseball, not nearly as high profile. You can't keep getting beat by your rival.
No, and it's
particularly when you're 20 point, you're a huge favorite.
It's that specific rivalry, right? Like that's the biggest game in college football every year. That's why. I think even if it was like the Egg Bowl, you mentioned Ole Miss, like even if it was the Egg Bowl, and yeah, Lane Kiffin was losing to Mississippi State every year, but he was still getting his team to the college football playoff. People would be like, that's okay. We're excited to be going to the college football playoff. Like it's all good. With Michigan, Ohio State, I just don't. You have to win that game. You
got to win the game.
Yeah.
Like it matters as much as anything.
As much as a national championship to them.
I mean, it's
right up there.
It's Auburn, Alabama-ish, and I don't know, man. Sometimes it feels bigger.
Yeah.
And you just can't keep giving those away. And now if he doesn't go win this tournament, because they're going to be in safely still. It was a weird thing because it sort of felt, it felt devastating for them. But like you wake up the next day and it's like, okay, everything's still in front of us. We're not going to be seated where we were seated, and we don't get to play in the Big Ten, but you're still going to be in the college football playoff. They're still going to be 3 wins away from a national title. And he might have to go win it. Or else. And then we got the flag planting fight.
Oh, man, Rivalry Week was awesome.
I love them. I love flag planting.
I love the flag planting. Look at that. Look at that.
I don't want to sit here and say I love the fighting.
Nobody's getting hurt. So they're punching each other in the helmets.
So then the counter argument would be, if you don't like the fighting, you can't like the flag planting because the fighting comes with the flag planting. And then my counterpoint to that would be, well, then give me the fighting. Whatever. I like the flag planting.
I think if you plant a flag on somebody else's field, then the fight's going to break out.
You got to fight.
Yeah. I saw Norvell getting in the mix in the Florida State game. It was so good, man. There were so many of them.
I like a good flag planting.
Yeah, dude.
I think we should do it week 1
in Arizona.
Every if
Arizona State had like the trident, the Devil's trident.
If you, I think week 1 you play on the road. I think any road win results in a flag planting attempt at the very least. And if the home team wants to try to stop you, then let's fight about it.
Memphis should have planted a flag.
Definitely should have planted a flag.
Well, that was a missed opportunity.
Definitely a missed opportunity.
You should have planted a flag on Tulane's field.
I'm for flag planting.
Yeah, dude.
I'd prefer it without the fighting. But if you tell me, if you want flag planting, you got to have the fighting, bring it on.
Give it to me.
I'm not the one fighting. My kids aren't the one fighting.
Right.
I don't care. For me, it's just a bunch of grown men in helmets fighting on television.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
It was good.
Just a bunch of grown men pushing each other on television. It's fine with me. I'm for flag planting. Do you root for? Can you find it in your heart to root for Ohio State, or do you?
Oh no. Like that was really gratifying. I enjoyed that. I don't. It's because as a Memphis fan, as the we're the underdog, fan of college football. I love seeing that kind of stuff. I freaking love it. Like I want to see number one go down. I love seeing that kind of stuff.
There's a part of me, I don't care anything about Ohio State, but there's a part of me that starts to feel bad for people, Like Ryan Day is...
Oh, he'll be fine.
I guess, but we always say everybody's going to be fine. Are we sure? What? That could have changed that man's life forever, right? He could be the Ohio State coach for 20 years or 3 more weeks, That might have changed his life forever. You can't find it in your heart to be like, man, that must suck.
No, he'll go get another big-time job.
I know, but can you imagine? Have you ever lost anything? I mean, I
don't think I've lost anything as big as the Michigan game 4 years in a row. No,
yeah.
I don't think I've lost anything that big.
Yeah, I've been very lucky in my career. I've never lost a job. Mm-hmm. I've literally never lost a job.
Yeah.
I probably will someday. Most people do, right?
Sure.
Particularly in this industry.
Right, that's very true. Right? You're doing well.
Yeah. But I've never lost something. I don't know what that feels like. Mm-hmm. But I imagine it sucks. Because in that profession, in most professions, you can lose something and in theory be better off because of it. But in that profession,
yeah,
you never get a job like that again if you lose that job.
I mean, Wesley points out if he gets fired, he gets paid $37 million.
Okay, I get that. I understand that. But I'm just telling you, the only people who think money gets rid of all the other stuff are people who ain't never had money. It doesn't, and I'm not speaking to Wesley specifically, but sadness is sadness, depression is depression, missed opportunities are missed opportunities, and I don't care how much money you got, that stuff can beat you down. There's a lot of rich, sad people in this world, a lot of them. And
I'd like to try to be one. I disagree. Well, I welcome that.
It's better to
give me $37 million. I'll find a way to be happy.
It's better to be sad and rich than sad and poor. Sure.
Yeah.
But you can still be sad and poor and sad and rich, same way.
Yeah.
And I watch Ryan Day, and I just there's a fight on the field, and everything's crazy. And I just saw he just looked like he was somewhere else, like his whole life just flashed before his eyes. That's what he looked like to me. And there's a part of me that looks at that and goes, "Man, that must suck."
No, that's true.
But whatever. Go Big Blue, I guess, right?
That's what they say. Go Big Blue.
Yeah, go Big Blue, whatever.
Yeah, go Big Blue.
Number 4.
Sunday Night Football. It was in the snow. Josh Allen and the Bills. Turns out San Francisco wasn't comfortable playing in the snow in Buffalo.
I mean, that one was, I knew the way that one was going. I was all in on the Bills.
It became a talking point last night. Should we even be playing football in conditions like that? We are going to reach a point in the NFL, and I think college football as well, where they can afford it. We're going to need retractable roofs almost everywhere.
Yeah, and they're building a new stadium there. That's that's the team, right? Like when you think of snow in Green Bay too. Green Bay and Buffalo are the ones you really think of. Buffalo, I believe, is getting a new stadium, so that'll go away.
It's cool to look at, but
I think we have a picture of it of one of Josh's touchdowns.
It's cool to look at, but at the end of the day, you're asking 60,000 people to come stand outside for 3 hours in that.
Yeah.
Not to mention players playing in it. Guys can't.
Oh, they love it, though. They love it. Talking to people that live up there, they freaking love it. You saw they paid all those fans $20 an hour to come shovel snow out of the stadium?
We're going to reach a point where it's too hot in the South to play football.
Right.
Without a roof. and too ridiculous in Buffalo and Green Bay to play football, and we will have retractable roofs everywhere.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
was in Texas, Arlington, heart of the summer.
You can't sit outside for 4 hours in that.
I mean, we could have because we've done it, but I just tell you, walking into Globe Life, it's a retractable roof. They had the roof closed when we were there. 72 degrees.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah, right.
It was amazing.
Right.
It was amazing. And last night, that became a topic of conversation. Should you really be... Obviously, nobody was advocating stop the game. It's too snowy. But, is there a better way to do this? And I think there probably is. It makes for some good visuals, but I wouldn't want to stand in that all day. It's not what I would want to do.
Number 5.
Elton John announced this weekend that he's lost his eyesight.
That sucks.
What is it about piano players and their eyesight?
Oh, yeah, Ray.
Ray?
Yeah. I think Billy Joel's still doing okay.
Billy Joel still got his eye. He better be careful, though.
Yeah.
Ray Charles? Stevie Wonder?
Now, yeah, Stevie.
Now Elton John.
Well, Stevie.
What is it about? I know people.
I'm just.
I know. But.
Yeah.
I know.
We've all heard the rumors.
We've heard the rumors. Mm-hmm. Elton John, he got an infection in his eye, and he thought he was going to get better, but he announced this weekend it's not gotten better.
Damn.
He was at a musical. He said, I can't really see it, but I can hear it, and it sounds great. Better than losing his fingers, though, right?
Yeah, and I would even think without his eye. Well, we know Ray was great, and he played that piano, he's good.
Yeah, I don't think you need your eyes to play piano.
No,
I mean that's been established.
No, muscle memory.
That's been established.
Yeah,
I don't need my eyes to type. I could write a whole column blindfolded.
Could you?
Yeah.
Yeah. See that? Yeah.
I could write a column blindfolded. Yeah.
Still, you don't want to lose your eyesight.
I don't want to lose my eyesight. So get well soon, Elton John.
Yeah, get well soon, man.
Elton John. I'm glad you still got your fingers. You can still do what you paid to do.
Mm-hmm. He's got a great Christmas song, too, by the way. One of the great ones, Step Into Christmas. That's one of the best ones to listen to this time of year.
He wrote that one when he, had eyes.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope, I don't know if it's going to get better, but I hope it does.
Me too.
I'm out there. I'm rooting for Elton John and Ryan Day. They had rough weekends.
I agree.
Everybody's going through.
Christian McCaffrey, he blew his leg out again. Yeah,
it's tough out there.
Yeah,
it's tough out there. Hey, count your blessings, Bennett.
Yes, I will.
You got your eyes. You got your job.
Yep.
Doing better than some.
Got this cool hoodie.
Got a cool hoodie.
Yeah.
You got your eyes, so you're doing better than Elton John. Your job security's fine, so you're doing better than Ryan Day. And you got a nice red hoodie.
Yeah.
Things are going okay.
Good.
Michael Eaves is up next.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Behind the back to Jaren for the flash.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
The top 5 worst teams in the NFL. I think the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL.
I got the Saints number 1. Ha ha ha! Let's put the Aints up there. They're terrible.
I'll take the Titans as my worst team in the NFL. If they played Will Levis, they're for sure the worst team. Maybe in NFL history. Might be worse than the 0-16 Lions if they play Will Levis.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Goldberg announces he's going to have a retirement match in 2025, and he said this on College Game Day.
We know you're trying to ride the coattails because the 2025 is supposed to be the year of John Cena. Goldberg, I have a message for you, my guy. We don't care about your retirement match. Your retirement match was 3 years ago. Go somewhere, go away.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Who will lead the Grizz in steals this season?
I'm going to go with Pippen for steals this season.
So I'm going to go with Jaren.
I'm going to go, as long as he's in the rotation, I'm going to go Jake LaRavia for total steals, and I'll have Marcus Smart in my back pocket for steals per game.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz Beat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. On Mondays, I'm joined by Michael Eaves from ESCN. You see him hosting Sports Center. He's on X at Michael Eaves. He's joining me now, and buddy, you look sharp. I hope you're going somewhere important. You look good this morning.
Hey, man, it is Get Stuff Done Monday. So I am out in these Connecticut streets, my brother.
I understand. Well, I appreciate you being here. I won't keep you too long. I want to start with Sunday Night Football because the game wasn't competitive, but it was kind of fun to look at. All the snow, the weather that we enjoy, but it became a topic of conversation during the broadcast. Like, do we need to be playing football in these types of conditions? Should a stadium in Buffalo have a roof on it? They're building a new one. It's not going to have a roof. What do you make of what we saw last night and whether we will get to a point as a country where we don't watch sports in those conditions anymore?
I think it should absolutely have a roof,
Yeah.
and the people who are making the decision about not having the roof don't have to play in those conditions.
Right.
So it's much easier for them to make that determination. I guess from a fan perspective, Gary, it looks cool for us to watch it, right? But the stadium is also full, and there were people in that western part of New York who were going out there for $20 an hour and free coffee to shovel the snow so people could attend that event. So the people in that area, it is clearly part of their culture, right? So from that standpoint, I get it. But from a fan perspective, I don't want to see it because I want to see the best conditions possible so that you can see the best performances possible, right? But how great was Josh Allen in all that snow last night?
Yes.
So we did get to see that too. So it's like, I understand both sides of it, but I just think for the overall well-being and safety of the players, which obviously may not be the number one concern of these owners in the league, I think they should have a dome.
I do too, and I did some reading on it, and they looked into it, building this new stadium, and I think they concluded if they went with retractable roof, it would cost an extra like $298 million, and they just said we're not going there. But that, and I'm not smart enough to understand that level of finances, but you put a roof on that thing, that's how you get the Taylor Swift concert. That's how you get the upcoming Kendrick Lamar tour. That's how you get a Super Bowl. It's how you get a WrestleMania. When you don't have a roof in Buffalo, you eliminate your stuff from you eliminate your city from all of that stuff. It just seems like a little short-sighted on the surface level.
Well, here's the deal. Because the city and the state are financing that stadium, right. I can understand them stopping short. It's like, Like, we're going to spend an extra $300 million on a roof. We need to worry about our public transportation system, our education system, blah, blah, blah. That's why, to me, it's a travesty that these owners don't build their own damn stadiums. What is the Bills franchise worth right now, right? A lot of money. It's easy for them to get that money from a loan basis or whatever, if you don't want to just come out of cash, and then to earn that money back on all those events that you just mentioned, right? It's a shame that these owners, who are billionaire owners, need public money to build their facilities. We don't ask other people to do that in business typically. So why are we asking the wealthiest people in the world, oh, please let us subsidize the place where you make all your money? We're more than willing to do it. We do it because we love sport. That's why we do it. But it doesn't make sense from a municipality standpoint for us to do that.
I want to talk to you about college football. I guess the big story of the weekend, and there were a lot of them, but it's Ohio State as a heavy favorite losing to Michigan, their rival, for a fourth straight time. Now Ryan Day's job security is in question, and I guess it's always been if something like this happened. But now he might be in a situation that is incredibly unique, if not unprecedented. And the situation is this: you're about to go into a 12-team tournament, win it, or you are not going to keep your job. That really might be where he's at. Is that a fair assessment of things?
It seems to be a fair assessment, but it shouldn't be a fair situation. Because, I understand the expectations that certain programs put on their coaches when it comes to wins and losses, but also the wins and losses are greatly impacted by the teams you're playing. And that Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, obviously it is what it is, but there's way too much emphasis put on it, quite honestly, because if you win the championship, will you remember the loss to Michigan? You might, but will it be the most important thing? Absolutely not. And oh, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ohio State just had a pretty long run of beating Michigan and everything was cool, but all of a sudden coaches Michigan lose their jobs because of it. They put way too much emphasis on one game when the goal of the program is to win a championship, right? Now, granted, not everyone wins it every year, but at the same time, if you lose one game each year for the last 4 years, and that one game happens to be the Michigan, the guy should get fired for that. That's asinine to think about in any other regard.
I was talking about Ryan Day in the last segment, and I don't know him. I don't care about Ohio State, but there is a part of me, like the heart part of me, that watches him go through what he's going through right now. And I don't like to watch people struggle. And I imagine he's struggling right now. And anytime you talk about this with somebody who obviously has money, somebody is quick to point out, well, if he gets fired, they owe him $37 million. He'll be fine. And I would argue he'll be rich. I don't know that he'll be fine.
That's the point.
Yeah, he'll be rich, but I don't know if he'll be fine because his whole life might have changed on Saturday, and that's just a weird thing. I don't care really who wins the college football playoff, I guess, but I wouldn't mind seeing him just because the alternative is ugly, and he's a young man who might have to spend the whole rest of his life wondering what could have been, and I don't think that's fun for anybody.
No, it's not. And here's the problem with the average sports fan, okay? Maybe just the average person in general, but we're talking about sports here, is that, the average person doesn't make a lot of money, and they certainly don't make the money that Ryan Day is making.
Right.
And so to those people, all that money that he's making would probably cure all the ails they have on a daily basis.
Right.
The difference is he's not a regular person either. And so the money is relative. Right, he's making money based on his career choice and what other coaches that do the same thing he does make. So in that regard, the money doesn't matter because this is his goal. He's not doing this for the money. No one does this for the money. You enjoy the money you make, but if you're going to be great, you have to go through these other things in order to get to a point, Garrett, where you're able to make that money to begin with. Right. So his thing is about wins and losses. His thing is about changing the lives of the men that come through his program. And if you get to a point where you are starting to self-doubt your ability to do the things that you got into the business for the first point, it's going to affect your mentals, as the kids would say. And to your point, yeah, he's going to be rich, but will he be fine? You don't know. How long will it take him to recover? You don't know. What will he do after? You don't know. So the money in some regards can't help that. We've seen a lot of people who were wealthy that killed themselves. Right. Not to be that dark and that dire. So the money doesn't cure everything. And so I think people need to be mindful of that when they throw all this criticism and all these calls for coaches' jobs. that have been successful, but haven't been successful enough in their eyes that they're putting this pressure on people that have to live with that every day.
As we're sitting here now, I guess we've got one more round of games, conference championship games, before we settle on a college football playoff bracket. I've enjoyed the season because it gives people a little leeway to have the one bad game that you used to couldn't have. Yeah. I heard a counter argument this weekend saying this would feel so much bigger if, like, this really knocked Ohio State out of the bracket. But they're still going to be in the bracket. It takes away from something. I just reject that. I felt like there were so many meaningful games this weekend. I loved everything that the playoff did to this season, but there was a little pushback this weekend. Where do you fall on that?
The only pushback is coming from people who aren't necessarily comfortable with the changes to begin with.
Right.
Because we don't have those same conversations when we're talking about the NFL playoffs.
Right.
We don't. Now there's going to be some elimination involved in these round of games for some people, and even this past weekend, because of the teams that won't make the playoffs in those 10, 11, 12 spots because of how they played these last two games, right? But ultimately, what you really want is the best collection of teams in a tournament to determine the best overall team. And so if one team has a loss in December as opposed to a loss back in September, and that prevents them from going on, that to me has always been absurd when you know they're still one of the best teams in the country. So the current system allows for a team to have a loss that doesn't be determined by the calendar of their worthiness to be in the playoff itself.
Last thing before I let you go, I just went to CBSSports.com right before the show started just to look at the headlines, and right there on the homepage, it's an Aaron Rodgers headline. I know that it's been a point of contention in your workplace. Like, how much are we talking about the Jets relative to how much we should be talking about the Jets? They're a big topic of conversation. I guess still, is Aaron Rodgers going to be playing football next season? And if so, do you believe it would be with the New York Jets? Are they going to continue to try to do this?
I don't know why the Jets would continue to do it. Even though he got hurt last year, you didn't really, know how good he was, but you know what he is now, and what he is now is not enough for that team. So I think you have to move on if you're the Jets and you're trying to tell your fan base that we're still about winning championships. Because if you are, then you have to move on. If you're Aaron Rodgers, nobody wants to go out like this. But Father Time, it gets everybody. Even Tom Brady. Tom Brady went to Tampa. He won a Super Bowl. But that last year, he didn't look like Tom Brady. And so he got out. Aaron Rodgers does not look like the future Hall of Famer that he's most certainly to be. So for him, I don't understand what would be the motivation to continue to do it other than proving that this year you were better than your performance. And you want to come back one more year to prove that. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it. He doesn't need the money, obviously. He can find other jobs. He could probably work in the media if he wanted to. So for him, I don't see the incentive, nor do I see it from the Jets. So why would those two stay together? Right, because it's not even like he's bad this year. He was not great his final year in Green Bay. Then he had the Achilles injury, and now here. This might just be what he is. And here's my thing, and that's why I was like, I understand his name and what he accomplished, but why everyone thought he would be the guy to go to New York and take that team to the freaking Super Bowl was always beyond me. Now, granted, our network, one of our main people is Mike Greenberg. He's a diehard Jets fan. So he was all about it. That's his fandom coming out, and it led to so much conversation on ESPN starting each day with his show that bled into the overall sports conversation. But now you see Greeny so mad at the Jets, he don't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. And he's like, yeah, we should have waited to see what they could actually do before putting this team in the Super Bowl. But everybody bought into it, including the owner, who said this is the greatest team ever assembled here, and I have to fire the coach because he's not capable of doing it. It wasn't the coach. It wasn't the coach. So again, just because someone did something great a while ago doesn't mean they're the right person for the job today. That is Michael Eaves from ESPN. Make sure you follow him on X at Michael Eaves. That's at Michael Eaves. I appreciate you being here, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, man. Be good. All right, I'll see you. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. You think Aaron Rodgers plays football next year?
Okay. I mean, dude, you know how, he's all over the place. He's a wishy-washy kind of guy. Sure. But even if he does play football next year, he's going to make you think he might not for a while. Not for a long time, right. I mean, I do think that I'm with him. If I'm the Jets, I want out of the Aaron Rodgers business immediately. Yeah. It has been a disaster. He has said so much in the media, like it's just like why we suck and we got to deal with what he might say about the franchise every week.
Well, you saw on SNY, the person's name escapes me, but SNY is a big cable network in New York.
Yes,
like it matters. New Yorkers watch SNY,
right?
And on the post game last night, there was a guy on SNY, and then they were like his play is not matching his mouth.
No, that's very true.
So my point being, when SNY starts to turn on you, you got a problem.
Yeah. Now, do I think that a team would take a chance on Aaron Rodgers? Maybe. I mean, there's some not well-run franchises, including the Jets, in this league. So, I could see it, but I think there's just a chance he just might not be good anymore.
He might not be good anymore.
Yeah.
Like he I guess the past 3 years, this is what they've been. Not good in Green Bay, Achilles injury, not good in New York. That's his past 3 seasons.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not a good anymore. It's like he is not a high-level quarterback anymore.
The problem becomes for those people, the people who have been great, they're the last ones to know they're not great anymore.
Right.
They're always not always, they are often the last one to know because you think you can do it. You think if I could just get it back.
Right.
If I could just you've done it before, so you think you can do it. But the problem is with age is like you get to a point where you can't do what you used to do.
Right.
That's for all of us, but it's especially true with football players.
You're also getting to this point in the NFL now where teams that are bad are drafting and starting rookie quarterbacks. Yeah. So, like, if you're the Jets, you're terrible. You got a top 5 draft pick. You could draft a quarterback and that's your day one starter, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the way the league's going now.
Yeah.
I don't know if he plays next year.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
I'm not sure either. And there's starting to be whispers, just as long as we're talking big time stars in sports who are aging, starting to be whispers that this might be LeBron James last year.
Yeah. Man.
But if he walks away, I think he's just like, I'm just tired of doing this.
I think
because he's still awesome.
I think LeBron, and who knows if he wants it. I mean, he's clearly earned like the Kobe retirement tour.
He seems like the type who would want that,
right? Like, don't you want? Like, I mean, look, don't you want it to be your last game in the Garden or you know what I mean? Like, you want those moments.
You want to. That's people got upset with Mike Krzyzewski for having the retirement tour. I don't mind those because they allow you to they allow everybody else to appreciate these moments that you otherwise don't know are happening.
Dude,
you ready for this? I was at Jay Wright's last game.
Yeah.
Had no idea I was watching Jay Wright coach his last game.
Right.
Yeah. Had no idea.
No, I mean, listen, like if LeBron James announced his retirement tour going into next season, the final LeBron James game here at FedEx Forum would be one of the biggest games in the history of this building. Like it would sell out.
We'd give him a guitar.
Do a video package. I bet we'd give him a guitar.
Yeah. I like the retirement tour.
I do too.
I don't mind them. So if LeBron's thinking about walking off stage, do this year and then announce you're going to retire at the end of next year, and then have the retirement tour and let us appreciate a king.
I like that idea.
I like appreciating stuff.
I don't know if everybody would be on board with that idea, but I'm in.
I don't know if we could get Vernon to co-sign it, but I like it.
He doesn't appreciate the moments.
He
doesn't appreciate the moments.
He doesn't appreciate the moments.
We need it.
We need the moments.
Yeah.
All right, be back in a second.
Okay.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Looking for a fun way to get your child active and involved with the Memphis Grizzlies? Ball out on the Grizzlies' home court at Junior Grizzlies Game Day Clinics. Presented by Ortho South. Get your game ready for the big leagues. The first Junior Grizzlies Clinic tips off November 25th before the Grizzlies versus Trailblazers game. Take your child's skills to the next level by signing up at grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. Don't miss out.
We didn't talk about owling, and you're telling me you didn't know owling?
What the hell is an owling?
Owling is worse than Tebowing.
What is an owling?
How far can Kyra zoom out on this camera?
She can zoom all the way out.
Can she zoom out?
What are you doing?
I'm owling.
Okay. Wait, why were we doing this? What is that?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
It's the top 5 worst teams in the NFL. I think the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL.
I got the Saints number 1. Ha! Let's put the Aints up there. They're terrible.
I'll take the Titans as my worst team in the NFL. If they played Will Levis, they're for sure the worst team. Maybe in NFL history. Might be worse than the 0-16 Lions if they play Will Levis.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Who will lead the Grizz in steals this season?
I'm going to go with Pippen for steals this season.
So I'm going to go with Jaren.
I'm going to go, as long as he's in the rotation, I'm going to go Jake LaRavia for total steals, and I'll have Marcus Smart in my back pocket for steals per game.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio. Big thanks to Michael Eaves for joining me from his vehicle. Looked sharp, didn't he?
I got those Ray-Bans. They're like a similar style to those.
You think you look like Michael? You don't look like that.
No, those are like the newer versions, the ones that he has. Those are sick sunglasses.
I know, but you don't ever look that sharp.
No, but I do. I will say, as someone who's not the best looking fella out there.
Oh, Bennett, you are the best looking fella.
No, but it's why I'm a Ray-Ban guy, because when you put on a pair of Ray-Bans, it doesn't really matter what your fit is like or what you're looking like that day. adds some flair. It does.
Do you like them because they cover your ugly face?
No. They look a certain way. They're sharp. Like when you put on a pair of Ray-Bans, people see you and you're like, damn, sophistication. Like,
I have
who is this guy?
I have like 11 pair of sunglasses.
Yeah.
But no Ray-Bans. I don't buy Ray-Bans.
It's class. It's a level of sophistication. Like I said, I
learned something about myself.
It adds something to the look.
You know what's going to add to me? You know what Ray-Bans add to me?
Yeah.
Lost glasses. I can't keep up with them. I
can't either, and it's like depressing. You remember once upon a time when I was like sick for a week on the show.
I had to come through for you.
Yeah, you had to come through and save me because I was like about to give up on life. Mm-hmm. It sucks losing a pair of nice sunglasses, but man, when you have them, there's nothing like it.
Well, that's what they say. I just have never been able to keep up with them. I think I lost maybe 2 or 3 pair of Ray-Bans in my life, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing this. Who am I trying to impress?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep buying $200 sunglasses and just leaving them on a bench somewhere.
I think I'm about to get a new pair, actually.
Okay,
I like the aviators.
splurge.
I like those aren't aviators that Mike, or that maybe they're a form of aviator that Mike had. I like those too. I want like the ones that are like the Elvis Costello. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Buddy Holly kind of.
I like
looking
Elvis
ones.
Costello and Buddy Holly.
It's kind of like that frame, honestly, but it's like the Ray-Ban version of that frame.
Okay.
Yeah, I like those.
Well, I hope Santa brings them for you.
Okay.
I hope you get those.
You heard it, Santa.
You heard that, Santa. So I was talking to Michael Eaves. He looks sharp. And we were talking about Ryan Day. And I mentioned, somebody in the chat was like, he gets $37 million if he gets fired. He'll be fine. And I said, he'll be rich. I don't know if he'll be fine. He has discussed his mental health before. And, he's had real tragedy in his family. Mm-hmm. His father took his own life.
Oh, I didn't know that.
When he was like 9 years old.
Jeez.
All right. Tom Rinaldi did a game day story on it. You can just Google that. Tom Rinaldi and Ryan, I think it's from maybe a few years ago. But there's real history of tragic stuff in his life. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here. I'm not suggesting Ryan Day is on the verge.
No, I got you.
I'm just saying that was a hard day for that guy, regardless of how much money you got. You wake up and you're a massive favorite over your rival. So here's what you think. Here's what you think when you wake up when you're Ryan Day. Mm-hmm. All right, I entered this season with some real job pressure, but we went out and we bought the best football team money could buy. And now I'm about to cruise into the college football playoff, cruise into the Big Ten title game, and all I got to do to get there is beat my rival that's been beating me. But, buddy, they stink this year. We're heavy favorites. We got them at home. This is going to be the best day of my life today.
Yeah.
And then it turns into I guess you can't call it the worst, given other days of his life. But professionally, that's as bad as it gets.
No, I agree.
Wonder what it's like to wake up with your dream job thinking you're about to have a dream day. And then it turns into a nightmare. And you might not. You wake up on Saturday thinking, I'm about to beat Michigan. I'm about to go to the college football playoff. And I might win a national championship. And you go to bed Saturday night thinking, if I don't win this national championship now, I might not get to keep my job. That ain't easy, man.
No, it's not.
It's wild how quickly your whole world can get turned upside down, right?
Right.
So when I'm watching this stuff, I guess most people just watch it and be like, that's a football game and this is fun. Mm-hmm. And all these other things are always in my head. I'm always carrying around this other stuff when I'm like, I'm not just watching a football game.
You are carrying around a lot of other people's burdens.
I'm sitting there.
You need to see a therapist.
I know. I can't even watch the football game without trying to get into the mind of Ryan Day and going, man, I wonder what this feels like because it doesn't look like it'd be fun.
No, you're right.
I got depressed for Ryan Day.
I never looked at it like that, GP.
I watch things and I put myself in people's positions and then I empathize with them.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm like a Ryan Day fan going forward. If the Buckeyes run into the Vols in the college football playoff, certainly if they were to run into the SIP, but I don't think that's going to happen now.
We'll see.
We'll see, but it's not looking great.
Yeah.
Then I might have to readjust, but I wouldn't mind Ryan Day saving his life and his job. That'd be nice. That'd be a nice little redemption story, wouldn't it?
It would.
Yeah.
It would.
We'll see if he can do it. But man, what a What a nightmare of a weekend for that guy. Career's going just beautifully, and then, boom.
You lose to lowly Michigan.
Whew. Not even Jim Harbaugh, Michigan.
No, that's the problem. Right. It'd be different if it was Jim Harbaugh, Michigan. It'd just be like, okay, well, that dude's got his number.
It'd still be bad, but it wouldn't.
It'd still be bad.
But it wouldn't be this bad.
No.
Wouldn't be this bad. Be back in a second.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Behind the back to Jaren for the flash. We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane 3. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of up to $340,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Here Comes Santa kicks off November 24th. Get one free entry and earn additional entries for weekly Saturday drawings. Don't forget the grand finale drawing on Saturday, December 21st to win up to $5,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quoting, call 800-522-4700. Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Yellow lace is really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges, and you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Goldberg announces he's going to have a retirement match in 2025, and he said this on College Game Day.
We know you're trying to ride the coattails because the 2025 is supposed to be the year of John Cena. Goldberg, I have a message for you, my guy. We don't care about your retirement match. Your retirement match was 3 years ago. Go somewhere, go away.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Looking for a fun way to get your child active and involved with the Memphis Grizzlies? Ball out on the Grizzlies home court at Junior Grizzlies Game Day Clinics. Presented by Ortho South. Get your game ready for the big leagues. The first Junior Grizzlies Clinic tips off November 25th before the Grizzlies versus Trailblazers game. Take your child's skills to the next level by signing up at grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies. That's grizzlies.com/juniorgrizzlies. Don't miss out.
Who will lead the Grizz in steals this season?
I'm going to go with Pippen for steals this season.
So I'm going to go with Jaren.
I'm going to go, as long as he's in the rotation, I'm going to go Jake LaRavia for total steals, and I'll have Marcus Smart in my back pocket for steals per game.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz Beat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio. I mentioned earlier in the show, John Canzano, while we were away for Thanksgiving holiday, longtime columnist on the West Coast out in Oregon, published a story and tweeted it detailing, based on conversations he's had with sources, that the Pac-12 is nearing a new media rights deal, that his sources are telling him some recent television numbers are encouraging. The deal, there's some indications that it might end up being with the CW, which, let's stop here for a second. How you feel about that?
Well, people can say what they want about the CW. It's easily accessible. It's easily accessible.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, like if you have like a TV service, you probably got the CW.
Right.
Yeah.
It just feels a little
lesser than like NBC, CBS, Fox, et cetera. Yeah, I got it.
Like, you ever been to somebody's house and you say, hey, you got a Dr. Pepper? And they say, no, but I got a Dr. Thunder, or whatever it is.
Sure. I get it.
Do you drink Dr. Thunder?
No.
Okay.
I'm not even, you ready for this? I ain't a big Dr. Pepper guy.
You don't even like soda. Do you like sodas?
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. I don't drink a lot of soda. Just because I don't want
What's your soda of choice?
I don't want to get kidney stones. Oh, GP, you know I'm a traditionalist. I like a classic Coca-Cola.
Do you do the full Coke, heavy Coke, Coke heavy?
If I'm going to enjoy a soda, which I don't that often, I'm just going all in, dude. Like health be damned. Like, if I'm gonna have a special little treat, give me the classic red can.
I've been cheating a little bit.
Yeah. It's Christmas time after all.
I'm a diet soda guy.
Yeah.
A diet Dr. Pepper, Coke Zero.
Yeah.
You know? I think I told you. Didn't I tell you this? I accidentally ordered a regular Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
It
was amazing, wasn't it?
It was the best thing
you've ever had in your life.
All year long. Like the highlight of my year.
Yeah, that's how I feel about just a Coca-Cola classic.
I'd probably go.
God, I love we can talk openly about Coca-Cola here now. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, we used to, because we're Coca-Cola. We're Coca-Cola
team
franchise
Coca-Cola
now. We're team
here.
Coca-Cola
yes,
now.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I never wanted to disparage anybody, but I don't like being limited to a Diet Pepsi or a Diet Mountain Dew. You know? I didn't like that.
No.
I didn't like that. And so I accidentally ordered a Dr. Pepper, and it was like a regular Dr. Pepper. It was the best thing I've ever had. It was a highlight of my year.
Yeah.
It's the best thing that's happened to me all year. And I was like, I felt like a junkie. Like I needed to go to a meeting or something.
Because you wanted another one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took everything I had not to get another one.
Yeah.
And now every time I go into a store, I'm confronted with this. For like 10 years, it's not even been a choice. I don't even look at the regular Dr. Peppers.
Yeah.
Now I can't stop looking at them.
Can't stop looking at them.
And I can tell you where like sometimes I'll go to, like a central barbecue where you got to get your own drink.
Yeah.
And sometimes here's what I'll do. I'll say, I'm not going to do this all day, but I'm going to get a half a cup of normal Dr. Pepper, and I'm going to have a nice half a cup of normal Dr. Pepper. And I'll drink that, and then I'll go fill it up with that Diet Dr. Pepper, and then I'll act right. But I've been cheating a little bit.
So yesterday I brought Noah to the game because it was Kids Day here at FedEx Forum, and we went down to get like a little soda out of the thing, and he wanted they had a cherry Coke in there.
Did you let him?
At first I was like, oh bro, it's like noon, like you're not even gonna make it through this game if I give you a Coke. But I was just like, that sounds amazing.
Whatever.
That sounds amazing. We split a cherry Coke.
We were
it was
very
delicious.
careful with our oldest. I don't want to be naive because, he could be doing heroin or something. I don't know.
Sure.
But to my knowledge, our oldest has never had a carbonated drink.
Oh, wow.
Never. We kept it away from him, and then he just never. He just drinks water all day long.
Good for him.
Little guy. He'll drink Cokes.
Oh, yeah.
Trulies.
Yeah. Don't say that.
White Claws. anything in the fridge.
The non-alcoholic version.
No.
Please stop.
He'll pop open a White Claw.
Yeah.
You know, you got to watch him.
Yeah.
Little one.
They are confusing.
Yeah, you know. No, he's not confused. He's He's
gotcha.
deliberately doing things he knows he's not supposed to do.
Okay.
Right? Anyway. Back to the new Pac-12. How did we get on
what's
Coke?
going on there?
How did we get on this nonsense?
The CW is not the same level as like Coca-Cola
That's what I was
Classic.
trying to say.
Yeah, right.
It feels like you're getting a Dr. Thunder instead of a Dr. Pepper with the CW.
I got you.
But I think I'm willing to get over that. The ACC plays games on the CW. So why can't the new Pac-12?
Oh, and you can't look at it through the prism of Memphis being on ESPN games because that's not going to be the case forever once that TV deal's up.
Right.
Like, that's going to go away.
Right.
Memphis might be on the CW for all we know, you know?
So Canzano's reporting that the Pac-12 is nearing a television deal. Recent television numbers are encouraging. And he has written, according to sources, they still have to add an all-sports member. Like, they have to add somebody. They don't have a league unless they add somebody. Right. So they're 100% adding somebody. This isn't one of those situations where, is the Big 12 going to add somebody? They have to. The new Pac-12 got to add somebody. So it's like, who? Who do you want? And he thinks they're going to circle back to Memphis.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never moved on my stance on this. I would go to that league tomorrow. You know, we talk, and I don't even want, like, I'll put football over here because we've talked so much about the football aspect of it. We're talking about the Tigers and the college basketball season and their schedule. They don't have one quad one opportunity in their league. No. Not one. No. So if you slip up in non-conference play, you have no room to, I mean, obviously, if you go undefeated in conference play, you're going to be fine. You're going to have a high seed in the NCAA tournament. But you have to have an amazing conference record if you're the Tigers. Like, you have no room for error, and that's just not a good place to be at all.
To me, the best explanation for why Memphis needs to get out of the AAC and join the new Pac-12 after negotiating the best deal possible. Keep in mind, this is what I've always said. If I were the university president, the athletic director, the big-time boosters, whoever it is that is involved in this decision-making process, this is what I've consistently said from the jump. I would negotiate as hard as I can for the best deal possible, but then when I reach the point where it feels like, all right, this is where we're at, you either got to jump or stay, I would jump. I would negotiate hard for the best deal possible, and I would go. Keep in mind, because Canzano's like, you can circle back to Memphis, but could also circle back to Tulane. Hey, who, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so, or you
tell me that wouldn't be disappointing to the fan base if Tulane went to the Pac-12 and we're even one less competitive team in your league.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be tough.
Yeah.
Here's the best, I think, argument in favor of you need to go if you can. You just had record-wise. I mean, you have a college football, as of this moment, today, you should have a college football team nationally ranked and a college basketball team nationally ranked.
Yeah.
And you can't draw people. Nobody cares. I don't want to say nobody cares. That's way too dismissive. That's not right. Not enough people care to show up in the way that you need them to show up. There's not enough compelling stuff on the schedule. But you join this new Pac-12, you could have football games against Boise State, basketball games against Gonzaga, San Diego State, football games against Washington State, Oregon State. It's not the Big 12, the Big 10, the SEC, the ACC. It's not what we've always dreamed of, but it's better than what you have.
Yeah.
It's better than what you have. So nobody's a better source on this stuff than Canzano. And so that was encouraging when I saw what he tweeted, and then he and I texted a little bit, and he genuinely does believe. Here's what he said to me. I don't think he would mind me saying this. I hope he wouldn't mind me saying this. If so, I apologize in advance. Here's what he said to me. He said, you from the beginning have said Memphis needs to make this move, and I think you're going to end up being right that they did. He thinks that he thinks this can still happen. Damn. That they can circle back to Memphis and negotiate a deal that compels Memphis to make the move.
Yeah, maybe
and that Memphis,
offer more buyout money, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And Memphis might be more willing to move now than it was a few months ago, given that you've watched this play out.
Look what just happened in football.
You got a 10-2 football team that can't crack, what is it? Didn't draw 30,000 for a single game this year. All right? You got a 10-2 football game.
And you had no room for error in your league.
Yeah, you got no room for error in your league, and you won 10 games, and people didn't come to watch them. You're not going to go 10-2 every year.
Right.
All right? Even if you should, you're not.
That's what I mean. You need something to inject some life into the fan base.
You need something to get excited
people
about.
Fired up.
People can't get excited about an AAC schedule. We know that. We're not debating that anymore. Though, hey, come out and watch us if we put a quality product on the court or on the field. We know that doesn't work. It's a fine thing to preach. It's ineffective. You cannot tell people, come support us no matter who we play. They're not doing it. We just watched the whole season. They're not doing it. You can keep saying it. People aren't responding to it. You think next season team's going to be better than this season team?
I mean, probably not. You got to find a quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd bet against it just blindly. I'd bet against it. 10 wins is hard to get, even against a nothing schedule. It's hard to get 10 wins.
Yeah.
There's a better chance it gets worse than it gets better. And when it was good this year, you couldn't get anybody to come to games.
Right.
So that's an issue. And if they didn't understand that was an issue when the Pac-12 approached them the first time, they should be well aware that it's an issue now. And so perhaps we'll have some good news soon. Pac-12 circles back. Memphis negotiates a deal, makes a move to a new league. Remember, when UNLV turned down the new Pac-12, they didn't just turn it down the way Memphis just turned it down. The Mountain West Conference gave UNLV in excess of $20 million to stay. The AAC didn't give Memphis $20 million to stay.
Right.
I'd be telling the AAC, I'd pull the Pac-12 back to the table, and I'd tell the AAC, if you want to keep us, you better give us a good reason to stay. And I'd be telling the Pac-12, if you want us, you better give us a good reason to go. And I'd get the best deal I could get, and then I'd go. I'd go. Because I think if you don't go, you're going to end up looking back on it with regret. Be back with GP's Carryout.
Didn't talk about owling, and you're telling me you didn't know owling?
What the hell is an owling?
Owling is worse than Tebowing.
What is an owling?
How far can Kyra zoom out on this camera?
She can zoom all the way out.
Can she zoom out?
What are you doing?
I'm owling.
Okay. Wait, why were we doing this? What is that?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Now every time you go to Miami, you can go see, that's a statue of me there.
No, I don't look nothing like that thing, man. Look, I'm sorry.
I would have been offended.
Look at that. That is UTA.
Oh, my God.
Oh, look. Hey, y'all got to get that screenshot, man. Put that on the...
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Who will lead the Grizz in steals this season?
I'm going to go with Pippen for steals this season.
So I'm going to go with Jaren.
I'm going to go, as long as he's in the rotation, I'm going to go Jake LaRavia for total steals, and I'll have Marcus Smart in my back pocket for steals per game.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
It's the top 5 worst teams in the NFL. I think the Panthers are the worst team in the NFL.
I got the Saints number 1. Ha! Let's put the Aints up there. They're terrible.
I'll take the Titans as my worst team in the NFL. If they played Will Levis, they're for sure the worst team. Maybe in NFL history. Might be worse than the 0-16 Lions if they play Will Levis.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but I'll hit you with some breaking news. World of college football just across the Mississippi River to the left. Arkansas has announced that Sam Pittman will be returning for a 6th year as coach of the Razorbacks. Does anybody want that? I mean, I know Sam Pittman probably does, but anybody else?
You know, that's a weird spot because that obviously you want to be like top tier in the SEC and you know compete for SEC championships. But Arkansas has always been in that spot where like if you're good, that's good enough.
But they're not good though.
I know they're not good. But he
3-5 in the SEC. He is 7-17 in the SEC the past 3 years.
That's not good. You know, he always wins those games that keeps his, you know, coaching career alive there. You know what I mean? Like he'll always win games he's not supposed to win.
I just feel like Sam Pittman at Arkansas is reached the point where it's a lot like Memphis in the AAC. Like your fans can't get excited about it.
Right.
You know, like your fans don't believe in this anymore. And sometimes you need to make a coaching change just to give your fans something to believe in.
I think so too. Also, just because you know it's again with the expanded playoff, like Arkansas has as real of a chance to compete for a.
Why can't Arkansas be Ole Miss?
Exactly.
Ole Miss competed for a college football playoff spot and probably not going to get it, but they competed for it.
Yeah, you go make the right hire.
You're one hire away from being. I don't know if you're one hire away from being Ole Miss, but you get the point.
Yes.
If Ole Miss can be Ole Miss, Arkansas can be that too.
I agree.
You just have to have the right coach. It is. I don't think Arkansas can be Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I don't think Ole Miss can be Alabama. But can Arkansas be Ole Miss? Yeah, should be able to do that.
Yes.
I don't think they got the right coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too happy if I was a Hogs fan today.
I don't think too many Hogs fans are happy today. That's their problem, though.
What's today's biggest game?
You ready for some football? It's a Monday night party. Are you ready for some football? It's a Monday night party. You not excited about Monday night football?
It's not the best. I mean,
It's the Browns and the Broncos.
Denver's a playoff team.
It's the Browns and the Broncos.
Yeah.
Don't we root against Cleveland because they brought in a sexual predator, an alleged sexual predator to the franchise? So
I think they moved on.
Yeah, but they still did what they did.
They did what they did.
I think we still hold it against them.
Nick Chubb.
Denver -6.5. The total's 42.5. How are you going to act?
Where are we, by the way?
We are going to do this at Empower Field at Mile High.
Denver's a 6.5 point. I'll take Denver by a touchdown. Yeah.
Bennett said he's laying 6.5 points with the Broncos tonight at home. Kickoff 7:15. You can watch it on ESPN.
What are we watching on TV?
Monday Night Raw, USA Network, coming off of War Games. Did you watch
I watched the main event.
It wasn't great.
No, it was boring.
It was like the whole thing was kind of.
It was boring.
Yeah, I didn't love it. You know.
So what happened to Survivor Series? What happened to the pay-per-view that I love?
I can't speak to that.
It has fallen off. Like, so it used to be like, Mania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Survivor Series has fallen off a cliff, dude.
I was glad to see Shinsuke get a win.
Yeah.
He's your new champ. He defeated LA Knight clean. Defeated LA Knight.
I'm ready to move on from. You know how I feel about LA Knight.
I hate LA Knight, and
Yeah.
I was thinking about Shinsuke when they announced the match. I was like, they bring this guy in, and he loses every time.
I know. They
He
do
never
disrespect
wins.
him. Yeah, and people love him.
He deserves a win.
I agree.
I was glad to see Shinsuke get a win.
Yeah,
The
me too.
OTC Roman Reigns got to put his one up. We'll see what happens between him and CM Punk. 7 o'clock tonight, USA Network Raw.
What's the best thing we've read?
So I don't know if it's best, but Top 25 and 1 is updated. I wrote an argument for Kansas over Auburn in my Top 25 and 1. So if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Tuesday. Be getting ready for Grizz Mavericks down in Dallas. Should be a big day. One step closer to the Tigers restarting their season with a game Wednesday night in FedEx Forum. So Grizzlies on Tuesday night, Tigers on Wednesday night. Should be a fun next couple of days. Enjoy the rest of yours. I'll enjoy the rest of mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.